Good morning to everybody. Lani, you can unmute and you can speak now.
Okay, good morning. Thank you for coming, everyone. It's a very happy occasion to have Sri Bagavath with us again in a Zoom meeting. It will be up to him and when and how often this will go on. And also up to us, because if we are enough people, we can put some pressure on Sri Bagavath to make it more often. And Sri Bagavath will start, give us a small introduction into the subject of his view about enlightenment, about liberation. And maybe this introduction will take maybe 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then it will be open to discussion. You can be free to ask whatever clarification is needed, and to benefit as much as you can from this meeting. It's better to ask questions. Otherwise, some things may remain unclear. So in the way Sri Bagavath is working, he clarifies the doubts and the misunderstanding, because the whole approach is intellectual. So this will be the best way to benefit from this meeting. Thank you, Sri Bagavath, for being with us, and
Thank you.
can go.
Now, first of all, we are going to think what is liberation and what is enlightenment according to me. According to me, liberation is the natural function of our mind. The mind is functioning even without our consent. It functions on its own. So the natural function of our mind is in a liberated condition. And the liberated condition of our mind is the highest thing in the world. So here we enter into our liberation, we meet our liberation through our intellect. And we want to shape the liberation according to our need. So that is the problem we are facing in the spiritual or psychological world. We are not ready to accept our mind as it is. So accepting our mind as it is, there is no role of our intellect. So if we entertain the role of our mind, we entertain the role of our intellect, we try to design the liberation, try to design the function of our own mind. So I divide the spiritual world into two categories. The first category is the way of enlightenment. The next category is the way of the yoga. The yoga means we can use our intellect, we can practice, we can shape our mind, we can design our mind, we can design the function of our mind. everything comes under the category of yoga practices. The other part of the spiritual world is the enlightenment. The category of enlightenment simply dismiss the role of intellect. So if you do not have the intellect, what will you do? With the help of the intellect alone, we are doing everything. When there is no intellect, what will you do? There is no way of doing anything. So we will go along with what is happening. We have no personal interest to do anything. So if we have any personal interest to do something, that is the way of yoga. Either we have to select the yoga process or the enlightenment process. Enlightenment process simply means we have to understand the nature of our intellect. The nature of the intellect, the role of intellect is only to shaping our mind or designing something for the use of the external world. For that you can make use of everything. We can use of our emotion, we can use of our intellect, everything for the benefit and purpose of the external world, external duties. But everything comes under the category of yoga. In the category of enlightenment, we have to dismiss the role of the intellect. For that, the intellect alone has to understand the incapability of our intellect in the category of enlightenment. So, with the help of the intellect, we have to dismiss the intellect itself. That is the enlightenment process. If we dismiss the intellect, you will become a child. As a child, you go along with what you are having. If you are able to behave like a child, the matter is over in the world of enlightenment. But in the yoga process, you can use everything. You can use your intellect, use your brain or everything. You can make use of everything. You can, if you successfully make use of your mind, make use of your intellect, make use of devices, whatever it be, you can get something. Way of yoga process, it is also good. We cannot condemn, we cannot criticize. It is also good. Yoga process is also good. You can design, shape your mind, shape your way of doing something. But anyhow, it is quite opposite to the way of the enlightenment. Enlightenment is simply dismissal of the intellect. You have to dismiss your own mind with the help of your own. When you dismiss your own mind, we cannot predict anything, we cannot design anything. What will happen alone will happen. What is happening alone will happen. Everything is the action of nature. There is no part of ourselves in the world of nature. So this is the introduction of our thought or concept today. And we can discuss or we can question what is said, what is described as intellect.
If you have any questions, you can use hand raise option, or you can unmute yourself and talk.
Sri Bhagavat,
Okay.
is liberation, is liberation, can you achieve liberation through the yoga process?
Who is to achieve liberation? Nobody can achieve liberation. Liberation is a natural thing. It is a happening. Nobody can own the liberation. Nobody can achieve liberation. We can submit to the liberation. If we dismiss our intellect, we submit to the liberation. We become part and parcel of the liberation. We cannot achieve liberation. We can become part and parcel of it.
So meditation cannot help us to surrender to that to the liberation, or it's only intellectual understanding?
So if you try to surrender, it is an intellectual game. So you have to dismiss the intellect. We should not allow the intellect to play a game. The intellect will play a game in the name of surrender.
So you say the moment the intellect assume any role to achieve something is already becoming the thief.
Yeah. So what we have to do is that we have to understand the incapability of the intellect.
So the intellect itself understands its own limitation, that he understands that he cannot control the mind, and then he just remains silent, or
Yeah. So it has to understand the limitation of its own mind. The mind has to understand the limitation of itself. And in the yoga process, there are many ways. One of the ways, surrender may be also considered as a way. In the yoga practice also, we can play in the name of surrender also. But it is one of the part of the yoga process.
what do you think can help us understand the incapability of the intellect?
So only because of your repeated failure alone, we can why we got failure again and again. and thereby we can remind you the nature of your own mind, and thereby you can come to a conclusion that I am incapable of achieving anything successfully.
Is it only by the continuous failure, or is there a way that listening to somebody like you and investigating inside ourselves, maybe we can reach this conclusion?
That is the way. That is the only way. You have to understand your own limitation.
Okay, thank you, Shri Bhagavat. I think there was another question there. Somebody was writing.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Okay.
Now you were telling that yoga will be unsuccessful in achieving enlightenment. So what is the role of Vedanta? Whether Vedanta is also similar to yoga or it is similar to your approach?
Vedanta also aims to attain enlightenment liberation. But we can make use of Vedanta also to get enlightened.
Acha. So there also the intellect, it is possible to dismiss the intellect through Vedanta
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
Okay. So both these paths can be combined, yeah. Your approach and your approach and Vedanta
Can be considered as a one approach.
One only. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Dana. Dana here. Can I ask you the question, Ayya?
Okay, you can ask.
Vanakkam, Ayya. I mean, I started, watching your videos for the last 4 weeks, and we understand the liberation, and I mean, this is really helping actually. But I often fail in one particular area where, like for an example, the mind not to control. Sorry, the what do you call, like, the brain or me not to control the mind. Okay, so I need to leave the mind liberated, okay, all the time. But often know what is happening is, like, when my presence is there, I'm letting it to be in the liberated position, liberated. But sometimes, like, I miss my presence, and then I just go and disturb the mind always. Okay, so in order to make me always in a presence of state, do I need to continue to do the meditation, or, like, what is the way that, like, we keep ourselves in the presence of mind? Sorry if I'm making it very complicated. I'm sorry for that. If the question is not understood, I can tell this once again. Yeah.
So what you want actually, if you want to have a peace of mind or anything, then you can very well practice yoga and many practices, many many work, whatever work if possible you can take. But in the name of enlightenment liberation, we have to understand that no work is possible. We have to go along with what is naturally happening. So there is no personal work for ourselves. In the name of enlightenment and liberation, there is no personal work. So we have to go along with what is naturally happening. So we have to understand that we have no work at all. But if we feel we have some work, that means we are in the yoga process The yoga process, that I am not also condemning yoga process. It is also good to lead your life in a good way, in a peaceful life, in a peaceful manner. You can proceed in the yoga process also. Doesn't matter. But when we are interested upon enlightenment or liberation, we have to simply accept what is going on, what is happening. That we have to.
Okay, I understand that. Um, and the question is again, sorry, to keep us on a focused way, okay, on a focused, actually, this enlightenment stage, really helps actually, but always, like, we are not in the enlightened state, okay, we keep miss ourselves actually. And so you are telling us that, even if we miss that, that is also the natural, we need to accept and move on. This is what your message to us, yeah.
So enlightenment, why do you need enlightenment? So we need enlightenment because if we get enlightenment, we'll be all right, we'll be happy. This way we are seeking enlightenment. So seeking enlightenment is also against enlightenment. So here, whenever we going along on the way of yoga or anything, and we feel we are helpless, whenever we feel helpless in the way of yoga or the process of yoga or anything, then only naturally we enter into the realm of enlightenment. So it is not a way of seeking enlightenment. It is a happening. The enlightenment is also happening unconsciously, unexpected. But we are all seeking only yoga process. If we seek enlightenment or liberation, it is also again a process of yoga. It is not enlightenment.
Okay,
So
okay.
we cannot seek enlightenment, we cannot seek liberation.
Understand, yeah. Okay, this is very clear messages. Okay, so if you do something, then that conclude as a yoga, but don't do anything, just receive it. Actually, that's a enlightenment stage. Actually, so yeah.
That also you cannot do it deliberately. It will happen accidentally.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I'm clarified. Thank you.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, your fundamental teaching was drop all the thoughts. Inside your mind, you have nothing to do. Ahatla onnume seyyada. That's what you said. And then do everything, whatever needs to be done outside your mind. Focus on that and do it. Inside the mind, you don't have anything to do. Is that correct, Ayya?
Okay. It is also correct.
So if we live that way, I mean, it's the stages. It's the stage of enlightenment. I mean, you are enlightened. You don't have any issues. You can just live peacefully. Can I take it like that?
So if you do not do anything within the mind, it is also the process of yoga. So yoga, we should not criticize and condemn yoga. It is also good. Yoga and yoga process is also good to lead our life in a successful way. Yoga process is
Yeah.
also good. We cannot condemn it. But anyhow, comparing with enlightenment, the enlightenment and liberation is great. That is why we are saying liberation and enlightenment. Otherwise, what we do, what we plan, what we discuss or everything, yoga process is so good. We can discuss yoga. In yoga process, you cannot do anything within the mind. You can make use of your mind and do something in the external world. With the help of the mind, you can do all your work in the external world with the help of your own mind. For that, mind is useful, mind is beneficial.
Yeah. Let me reframe my question here. So, in other words, the thoughts are coming into your mind. You just drop them. Don't do anything about it. If need be, if you want to think about something, go and do your thinking outside
Okay.
or within the mind. Is that
Within the
correct?
mind.
Here?
Correct, correct.
Oh,
With the
thank you.
help
Yeah,
of the
thank you. That's what I want.
with the help of the mind alone, we can do anything. So you can
Okay.
think in the mind.
So if we can bank on that concept that either thought or thinking, thoughts
So
come without your effort
thought comes naturally, but thinking
naturally.
or deliberately you are
You have to
thinking
do it.
something you are doing. Thereby you can
Oh,
make everything is good.
wonderful. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sri Bagavath, can I ask?
You can ask.
Thank you. Thank you for your kind teachings.
Okay.
So if any sort of doing is done by the intellect, by the mind, by the body, there is actually nothing to attain in that realm in order to attain enlightenment. That's right?
But if you in favor of enlightenment or doing something in favor of enlightenment, everything is good. There is no point of selection. If you want to select anything, reject anything, you can make use of your mind. But here, in the point of enlightenment, everything is good. There is no scope for selection. Everything is good, everything is right. But in the process of yoga, right and wrong is there, success and failure is there. But in the point of enlightenment, there is no success, there is no failure.
So if there is no process and no achievement to achieve in order to be in a state of enlightenment, so the entire process is intellectual and there is no process, there is some kind of paradox there.
பண்ண முடியாது அப்படின்னு சொல்றோம். என்லைட்மெண்ட் பத்தி நம்ம பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
But anyhow, we have to speak about enlightenment. Without speaking about it, how can we get clarification of enlightenment? There is something. Enlightenment is there, liberation is there. It is a hard truth. It is a open truth. We have to speak about it. But anyhow, we cannot try for it.
We cannot try for it.
Okay, we cannot try for it. If you are trying for it, it is a process of yoga.
So if I cannot try for it, that means that it always exists.
So understanding alone will lead you to enlightenment, liberation. You have to understand everything is correct, everything is good, nothing is wrong, everything is fine.
But who will understand that?
The intellect.
But there is no process to within the intellect.
You have to understand everything is correct. But
So
the
if
intellect will not understand like this.
what? Please
The
repeat.
intellect will not understand like this. The intellect alone discriminate. The intellect always discriminate. This is good. This is bad. This is right. This is wrong. That is the role of intellect.
So it seems that what you're saying that the entire process is being done within the intellect realm, yet there is no process to do within the intellect.
So we have to understand the definition of enlightenment and definition of liberation. That all. But at the same time, we cannot try for that. If you are trying towards that, it is a way of yoga. In the yoga process, sometimes success may be there, failure may be there, anything may happen. We cannot assure anything. But liberation is a natural thing. We have to, when it is natural, no work is needed.
So if not work is needed, what's the role of the intellect here?
Just to see that there is no problem.
You can restrict yourself in yoga process. You can restrict yourself within the yoga process. Don't try for enlightenment. Don't try for enlightenment or liberation. If you are interested upon enlightenment or liberation, you have to understand what it is. That means you have to dismiss the intellect itself. The intellect alone is searching. The intellect alone has to dismiss the intellect. Then only everything will be natural. Then there is no need for the intellect. So you have to withdraw the need of intellect.
So from what I'm understanding, the intellect is searching for enlightenment, and the intellect will dismiss itself from this search.
Yeah, correct.
And then what will happen?
So what is already happening will also happening again and again. It will continue. What is already happening will continue as happening.
So there is actually
nothing new will happen.
To attain, really.
But anyhow, the intellect alone will go away. The intellect alone will lose its power. It will be easily submitting to what is happening.
So I'm repeating to my first question, the entire process is within the intellect to actually loosen its power?
In the name of enlightenment, the loosening power of intellect is the correct way.
So actually it's a process of loosening and not a process of achieving.
Yeah. If you are trying to achieve anything, even enlightenment or liberation, trying to achieve something is the process. It is a process of yoga. In the yoga process also, you can do something. It is not bad. It is also good.
You can also do the yoga process.
So actually the process of loosening is also a type of doing, no?
So if it is a process or a doing, then it is a yoga process.
So how to speak?
It should not be happening. It should not be doing. It must be happening. Unconscious happening. It must be unconscious happening.
Unconscious happening. That's an interesting concept. Unconscious happening. Thank you.
So, thank you.
If you have any doubts or discussion, you need to talk on any topic, you can raise your hand or you can unmute and talk.
Sri Bhagavan.
Okay.
I think it's would be beneficial just to clarify that enlightenment and liberation are two different things in your view. That enlightenment is just an intellectual understanding, that we have nothing to do in the inside world, that we cannot actually control the inside world. We cannot. So the intellect comes to this understanding. It's not possible for me to control the inner world. And liberation is something else. Liberation is the natural movement of like a child, the natural movement of the mind from moment to moment. So I think when this is clarified, the separation between the two, it makes it easy for people to understand. So I just
liberation is already there. Even though you are struggling within yourself, at the time of struggling itself, the movement of mind, everything is going on. So what is going on, what is happening is the action of liberation. It is each and every moment liberation is going on. It may be in a good manner or it may be a struggle manner, whatever it be. The very movement, very function, very happening of our mind is liberation. Each and every moment liberation is there. But that is the total moment. But one part of the total moment, the intellect takes a special role to shape the entire movement of the mind. One portion of the mind takes the role to shape the whole mind. So that is the problem. The portion of the intellect, the portion of the total mind is the intellect. The intellect has to submit to the total. If we deliberately do anything according to the taste, according to a demand, this has to function like this should not function like this. In this way, or if you deliberately do any work, it has to like this, it has to function like this way. If it does any work, everything is some disturbance to the total function of the mind. So the intellect has to submit. It is what is doing, what all it is doing is unnecessary to the total mind. The total mind is functioning without anything. It is a happening. Each and every function of the total mind is functioning. It is a happening. So that is liberation. It is already there. Only thing we left is that we have to realize the incapability of ourselves to shape anything, design anything. So that is the role.
So even while we suppose that we are in ignorance, and even while we are fighting with ourselves and struggling with ourselves, it's only the intellect that decide this is not liberation. And he says to himself, I'm not liberated. But all along, it's just the intellect that is deciding. And then this intellect itself has to decide, I don't have any work to do anymore, finished. And is going out of the picture.
So it has to accept everything as natural, everything as happening. If it is brave enough to accept everything natural, the matter is over. The intellect has to be brave enough to accept everything. Brave or innocent, whatever it be. It has to be innocent enough to accept everything.
Shri Bagavath, can I ask something?
Okay,
Hello, Shri
you
Bagavath.
can say something.
Yeah, I would like to ask about the role of yoga. The role of yoga as a way to achieve enlightenment. I mean, so is it false, all this achieving enlightenment stages, effort? How is it? Is it all based on a false idea that there is someone who can achieve anything, and there is a way, and there is? Even if I don't believe in it, even if I don't believe that I can achieve anything, I understand my incapability. Still, my mind functions like that, as if it's supposed to achieve something, like it's so deep rooted.
யோகா மூலமா ரிலேட்டிவ் அச்சீவ் பண்ண முடியும். யோகாவுடைய ரோல்
And you can make use of your mind. With the help of your mind, you can imitate liberation also. The imitation of you can imitate. You can play as if you have attained liberation. The imitation of liberation itself is a kind of yoga. So that means you have to go along with what is happening. You can deliberately do something. You can deliberately do as if you have to accept everything. In this way, if you are able to accept everything, thereby you can easily flow with everything. So in this way, you can have a good peace of mind over everything. But at the same time, if you are aiming for liberation, aiming for enlightenment, something more than that, then only the blossoming of enlightenment or liberation happens when you accept failure, when you face failure. That even in spite of our yoga practices or everything, I cannot properly understood, I cannot understand properly. In this way, with the understanding of your failure, suddenly you broke down. On the breakdown of yourself, some unnecessary, some unintentional thing will happen. It will happen naturally, but you cannot predict. It will happen. You cannot deliberately bring forth.
Is what you're saying about thought and thinking, is it like a manual way to discard the mind? It's like a manual kind of way to deal with your mind, to understand what you're talking about?
மேனுவலாக நம்ம டிஸ்கார்ட் பண்ண முடியும்.
Manually, what we have to discard?
I
What you have to
mean, manually.
manually discard what?
I'm sorry.
Intellect.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
If you are manually discard intellect, that is a process of yoga. So you are deliberately discard yoga, thereby thinking that if I discard intellect, some good effect will come. So so getting some result, try to discard your intellect. It will be a struggle. It is not possible. So I have to understand that the meaningless function of the mind, the very understanding the meaningless function of the mind, thereby we can get away from the intellect.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Shivata.
We have few more minutes. We can take one or two questions. If anybody has any questions, you can use hand raise option, or you can unmute yourself and talk.
So we have successfully completed this session. Goodbye to all of you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you everyone for participating. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Sri Bhagavat. Thank you, Chandrasekhar. Thank you, everybody. See you the next time.
Okay.